What's up, everybody? Savage Brandon here, bringing you a Gears of War Judgment commentary. Actually, I wanted to get something different. I mean, everyone's gone back to Gears of War 3. I was like, hey, well, let's see what's going on Judgment, and got some pretty good gameplay. So here you go. Here's that. But what I really want to talk to you about today is what makes a good montage. Who makes the best montages? Who makes the worst ones? So on and so forth. So I think there are a couple criteria to make a montage good, and you're welcome to agree or disagree with me. But here's what I think makes a good montage. First, let's start off with the clips. Now, here's some things that need to make the clips, that you need in a clip to make it good. You need a variety of players, a variety of game types, and a variety of weapons. What sparked this was I was watching some S episodes, actually, and I was like, S is really good at Gnasher clutches, quads, that kind of thing. That's their thing. That is what they have built their team on. And right after I planned out this commentary, the S the Noob, I think it was, or S10 Noob, I guess you could pronounce it, put out an episode, and it was I thought it was really funny. It had the element of S where they had the Gnasher and all of that, and then it had he had like one clip that was a Gorgon triple. It was pretty cool to see him do that. That was really cool. I liked that. But overall, that's not what makes a clip good. Just a variety of weapons doesn't make a montage good, and it doesn't make a clip good. You also have to take into account whenever you're looking at clips, just as a single clip, what weapon it is, who the kills are against. Like, I want to say 2 of the 3 people were bots, I think, that the triple was on, which I mean is still impressive. I couldn't do it. That's another thing you got to keep in mind, is I'm not saying that, hey, I can do this. I'm saying that I've watched a lot of Gears of War stuff. I know what's what and what's up. So anyway, he got the triple, which was good, and it was on TDM. It's important to keep in mind game type. Like, let's say that there's 2 quad clips. One is an execution quad, and the other is a King of the Hill quad, both with Gnasher, same player, same map. But just the game type difference makes a difference in the overall quality of the clip, I believe. You've got I would pick the quad on execution every time over the quad on King of the Hill, unless it was like, quad headshots, supers, I don't know, something ridiculous. There's other things you have to take into account, but just based on game type, if everything's the same except for game type, I would rank it. King of the Hill is last. Then maybe have TDM and Guardian kind of tied, because it's kind of the same way. There's always like a maximum number of players on the field, I guess. Like, you couldn't ever get like it's not everyone's always in the same place, I guess you could say. They're kind of similar to me in that regard. And then at the top, I would have Execution. You don't see that many Warzone, but I would say it's just below Execution, like just barely below Execution. And that's just because whenever you're downed in Execution, like, you'll eventually get up. I don't know, just the severity of the game type, though. I would say maybe that's why Warzone might be. You could make an argument that Warzone would be harder just because of that. But regardless, that is what I think, just a clip overall is based on that right there. You've got right there, we've got a player, a weapon, and a game type. So it's TDM, Gorgon, that's pretty cool. I mean, we see Longshot all the time, you see Gnasher all the time, you see Torpo all the time. It's cool to see someone try to do something different, and that's one reason that I liked it, was because, hey, he's doing something different, and that is a good thing. Now you've got to look at just an overall montage. Let's say a team-tage, I guess would be a better way to put it. A team-tage. You've got, I was watching actually a dual-tage of Sin Dubs and Sin Arise, or Arise, I don't know. Sin Dubs, also Dubs AE. He's one of my friends. I was looking at that, and it was quote-unquote Randy's episode, but some of those clips are better than anything I've ever hit, ever. Not to say that I'm a clip player, but I mean, they were amazing. So the quality of the clip was great. Now, you've got to look at the players, because there's 2 different players getting clips. I would say that Dubs did better than his counterpart. He had more quality clips than the other player did, and that's not to say the other player's clips are bad. I would just say that it's better quality. Now, keeping that in mind, you can't say that means that it's a good montage because one was better than the other, or that it's a bad montage, I should say, because one is better than the other, because that is also not true. It's the mix of the players. In a team-tage, I don't want to see the same person getting clips, and then you call it a team-tage because there was one other person that had a clip. I've seen a couple of those. I can't think of examples right offhand. Just a one that I have in mind though is I don't know if anyone else remembers back when Chaos was like really big. There was Chaos, there was Control, Nova. I would say this is right before the Gears of War crash. We had United We Stand, which was Chaos started these montages of different teams to the community. I know Chaos Richie has tried to do different things with that, like community edits and stuff. But these were the first time at least I had seen all the different teams getting together and doing something together. So the United We Stand, they had, I would say, an even number of clips per team, time per team, and players per team, and it's really good. All the clips are great. I mean, you don't see anything that I'm like, I mean, that's all right. Everything that I saw, I liked, and I wanted to keep watching because of that. So I watched a couple of those just the other day, just because of the clips themselves. So there's a good example of spread of players. So you want to get more than 3 play. If it's a team Taj and you have 10 players, I would say get a majority of those players represented. I understand if not everyone's going to be represented. Everyone's got their own things going on. It's hard to do that. Hard to coordinate 8 people into doing something. But to see such a turnout just for even that little bit is great. Just to see that little bit is just phenomenal. I loved it. I loved it a lot. Watched it twice, as a matter of fact, just to see. I was thinking about this commentary, and I was like, hey, it'd be really cool to see how they balanced it. So watching that, and then watching other team Tages, sometimes it's all 2 players, and then it's like the first player, and then there's one clip from someone else, and then there's the second main player, and there's one clip from somebody else, and it's back to the first main player for the rest of the episode. I mean, we've all seen those. We all know what I'm talking about there. But to see a team, or a couple teams actually, go in and do something that not many people are doing, I think that's a great thing. Going and doing something else. But of course, clips aren't the only thing that make a episode, a montage, a team Taj, whatever, good. It also takes a good edit. Now, good edits, I would say, can be divided into a couple of different criteria. First, you've got the what type of edit it is. You could say it's a hard edit or a soft edit, a minimal edit or a heavy edit. There's all kinds of different ways you could divide it. And then you've got to look at what kind of music they've got, how's the timing. If it's a hardcore edit, they have a soft techno song going with it, or is it a soft edit and it's got super hard rap or super hard rock with it? What's going on? And so keeping those things in mind, you've got to look at who has done what and how have they done it the best. What makes the best montage? So we've talked about clips. We know what makes the best clips. You got to have a variety. It's got to be really cool things that people haven't seen. But what about edits? You've got all kinds of great editors, but they all do something different, and edits are really subjective. So to look at it, you've really got to decide, all right, well, what makes an edit good? Now I'd say first, let's talk about hard versus soft, heavy versus light, those kind of things, to see the quality of the edits. So in terms of hard edits, I know it's kind of hard to categorize, but I know one clan, I don't think they're around anymore, that did hard edits was Agony. I had a friend, Sonics, who was on Agony for a while, and their whole thing was hard edits. But what does that mean? Usually what that means is they do the color correction so it's a little darker. They've got, heavier music on there, either heavy rock or heavy rap. I know there's been a big debate about what is the best type of music to have over Gears of War. Personally, I think that rap does very well. I know I don't use a lot of rap in any of my edits whenever I do them, but it works very well because it's got a steady beat, and Gears moves at a steady pace. At least Gears of War 3 does. Gears of War Judgment gets a little more difficult, but in terms of music, I would say that rap works the best. Now, what type of rap do we want? Like a hard rap with like a really, really heavy like beat, or do you want like a softer rap, like a little more somber, a little more just like jumped in the studio, made a mix? Like, what do you want? Looking at that, I would say the harder rap fits more into Gears of War. So hard rap, I think, is great for Gears of War. You look at oh gosh, what's a good example? I know Dubs again. He came out with an episode a couple I want to say 2 weeks ago that I used rap instead of rock, which is something I hadn't seen a lot, and it did really well. It sounded really good. The edit was good. The music was good. It earned my like, that's for sure. Just because everything was good with the music, it fit really well into the edit and into the gameplay, and that's where you have to decide. Hey, this is a hard edit or is this a soft edit? Soft edit, you don't want a hard song. Hard song, you don't want a soft edit. Vice versa. But looking at it, let's say you do a hard edit and you do use a hard song. That's not all that goes into making a good episode. So let's say you got good clips, you got a good edit, you got a good song, but now it comes down to the final thing, and arguably the most important thing when it comes to an edit, and that is the timing. It is so difficult to get timing down. You've got to, let's say it's a 4-beat song, that's great, but that doesn't mean that you've got, 4 clips per stanza, or that you've got 4 clips for 4 beats. That means that, let's say you've got 3 headshots and you go on to the next clip. Well, how are you going to do that with a 4-beat song? It's just going to be like headshot, 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 not headshot. Like headshot, 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 and then you've got this awkward transition, and it's got to get back into the beat for the next clip. So it's headshot, 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 beat, and you're in the transition, and then maybe another beat for the transition, and then, kill, then kill, then kill, and you've got to get it so that the clip is just right with the song. Or maybe you have headshot, 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 and then it's not a headshot, and then so headshot, 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 body. But if it's headshot, headshot, body, headshot, then that's really hard to get into the song if it's off beat. So like, let's say I'm talking in beat, and then all of a sudden I stop talking in beat, and it's really hard to, like, your mind gets into this, like, all right, things are gonna happen on the beat, and I can tell the beat, and this is going well, and now I'm trying to get off beat, and it's not going to work very well because now it's hard to follow what's going on, and I can't see that doesn't work well. You can't just jump in and do one beat and then jump in and do another beat. It's just not going to work. So you've got to make sure that your timing's down with whatever song you're doing. If it's a 4-beat rap, there you go. If it's a 3-beat rock song, you got to make sure that it's boom, 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 so on and so forth. But now let's talk about soft edits. Some people aren't a fan of soft edits. They see it as like a minimal, like it's just, fading one clip into another. But a whole lot more than that goes into a soft edit. I know I'm more of a fan of my stuff being, I guess, softer edited, kind of letting the clips speak for themselves. Of course, I've never had anything done really by an editor. I've done it all myself. But that's how I like to do it whenever I do it. So I like to do it with just a soft kind of edit going on. But so what I do is, it's not just, put the clips together, do different transitions. It's put the clips together, make sure that it's got a good way to transition. Like I said, you've got to get the transitions right. You've got to do all these things. But you've also got to make sure that you don't overlap the clips too much. You got a clip and you've got the timing down, but you're like, oh man, it doesn't fit the next one. But I don't want to like put a filler here because it's a minimal edit. So instead, you have to just, be off beat for a second, and that's also a bad thing. See, there's much more that goes into it than just, slapping together a bunch of clips, putting music to it, posting it. The people who do that, they don't tend to go far. I've done that with, 1 or 2 of my episodes, and they don't do too well because people can tell. People can tell the difference, and people don't like it. People don't like it whenever it's a minimal, just minimal effort. Instead of minimal effort, think minimal edit. So you've got one edit that's just clips slapped together, Randy's, whatever. Even your Randy should have good quality. It shouldn't just be, oh, well, I'm just going to put these together because I can and it's done. It's got to be, oh, well, I'm going to put them together, put them to this song, but let's make sure, that everything syncs up, that even though I'm not putting, a ton of time into editing this, that it's still going to go well, it's still going to, flow, all that stuff. So you're doing that and you're going on, and you got to make sure. I like to blur it. I do a Gaussian blur so that it boosts usually the blues. I love blue. I think blue is a very nice color. I don't like to boost the reds. It tends to look jagged. I don't like to boost the greens because then it just looks stupid. But boost the blues, and usually it highlights all the colors. I like to sharpen the image a little bit, give it a just a tad bit of a so that everything kind of pops a little more. Gears of War and Unreal Engine do things in sort of a cartoon, cel-shaded-ish kind of way. I like to kind of highlight that a little bit, so you got the blur, so that everything's just a tad different, and then you go in and you make it so that everything pops a little more, and it really just hones in on the way the game is already, instead of making it, hey, this isn't cel shaded. I'm gonna make it cel shaded. Instead of that, it's this is cel shaded. Let's make it cel shaded. This isn't cel shaded. Let's not make it cel shaded. That kind of thing, so that you really know what's going on and you've got it all planned out. But I think that if you're gonna do it one way, you got to do it that way. If you're gonna do it the other way, you got to do it that way. You've got to pick one. You can't have these awkward, oh, it's this way, no, it's this way kind of things going on, because those don't work. They just don't work. So anyway, guys, I've been Savage Bernie. This gameplay is wrapping up. Thank you so much. If you have any, what makes a good edit to you, leave it down in the comments. I would be happy to take a look at it. If you have any examples, post those. We'll support our own community. Anyway, guys, I've been Savage Bernie, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.